Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sacha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Sacha Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Guru Bhishta Sapurakam Guru Ganayarashisa Sambhushitam Chinta Chinta Samasta Vedanipunam Shri Rupa Panthanugam Govindavidam Ujjalam Vartanam Bhaktyanavitam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Guruncha Divya Bhagavad Premdo Hivij Pradam Devam Divyatanam Suchandravadanam Balarkachelanchitam Sandranandapuram Sadek Varnam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhantanidhim Subhaktilasitam Sarassatanam Maram Vandetam Shubhadam Madekasharanam Nasisaram Śrīdharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gaudiya Guruvanvai Bhata Bhanuriva Prabhat Gagne Gauda Sankirtanaya Mayavadathimingilodara Gatanudhritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sadabdigan Sukham Pradata Prabhum Tam Bhaje Namo Gaura Kishoraya Bhaktavadhuta Murtaye Gaurang Kripadna Bhangaya Radha Bhav Nishevane Mande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Ras Sudhanadim Gaura Rajashita Shaira Vaishnaveira Vanda Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premabdhim Niddha Vaishnavam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaura Tushe Nama Sashtang Dandat Pranam to all the Vaishnavas, devotees, servitors of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math worldwide, serving at the lotus feet of Srila Govinda Maharaj and Param Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakṣhak Śrīdhar Dev-Goswamī Maharaj. To everyone else, to our friends, well-wishers, seekers, Hardik Namaskar, obeisances and welcome to our Friday evening Sangha, made possible by the orders and sanction of Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Maharaj. He is our guardian here in Sokal Puri. I have Shripad Chinmadev Prabhu here with me. Dandat Pranam and welcome Shripad Chinmadev Prabhu.
Dandavad.
I'm just adjusting your volume level. There we go. So happy to have you, and we are reading and discussing the Golden Volcano of Divine Love. And today we shall begin Union and Separation, which is page 209. And we'll say the Sanskrit Śikṣāṣṭakam verse. After that, Shripad Chinmadev Prabhu will read the translation and then we shall begin. All right. Okay. Ashlishyava pada ratam pinashta mama adarsanana marma hatam karotuva yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato mata prananathastu saivanapara.
Krishna may embrace me in love or trample me under his feet. He may break my heart by hiding himself from me. Let the debauchee do whatever he likes, but he will always be the only Lord of my life.
Illumination. This is the greatest medicine for the devotees. We have come to measure the immeasurable, but we must always embrace this principle. In attempting to connect ourselves with the infinite Lord of love and beauty, we must remember that He is the infinite. He is only one to us, but He has many devotees like us to deal with. He may embrace us with much affection and adoration, but we must be prepared for the opposite. We may stick to His feet, but He may cruelly trample us. We have caught hold of His holy feet with great hope, with our whole heart. Still we may find that He tramples us and does not care for all our attempts and affection. We may be giving our best and find that our offering is being hatefully dishonored. He may embrace us, but at the same time we must be prepared that His dealings may be extremely cruel. He may trample all our offerings beneath His feet. We must be prepared for both His adoration and His hateful negligence. We should be prepared for any adverse circumstances. Krishna may be indifferent. He may not care. And when He is punishing us, He is near. But when He is indifferent, it is even more intolerable than punishment. The devotee thinks Krishna is ignoring me, neglecting me so much that he does not like to keep any connection with me. Doesn't He know me? Am I a foreigner, unknown to Him? We may accept punishment as a boon, but indifference is even more heart-rending. The pain of separation felt by a devotee may even go a step higher. Krishna may affectionately embrace another right before our eyes, in front of our face, without caring even a little for us. We may think, this is my claim, my right, but that may be given to another right in front of our face. That will be a source of increasing trouble to us. This is the law of affection. The law of love cannot tolerate indifference. It is too much to tolerate. But we must be prepared for that. We must be prepared from the beginning that this is the meaning of Krishna Prem, divine love for Krishna, because He is an autocrat. He is love. Divine love means mercy and not justice. There is no law there. And we have selected divine love to be our highest fortune. So we must be prepared to be treated without justice. There is no justice in divine love. It is free. It may flow anywhere and everywhere. This is the very nature of divine love. So we can't make any claim. We have no rights. This is the nature of the highest thing, and it is extremely rare. But unhesitating adherence to that principle is required from our side. It is real love, and you must be prepared for that. In all adverse circumstances, this is the real nature of Krishna Prem. Die to live. If you can accommodate all these different stages, good or bad, then you can enter this exalted plane. Love is above law. Justice is within law. Mercy is above law. Dandat Pranam Nandrani Didi and welcome Anil ji.
Dandavas.
Justice is within law, mercy is above law. Prem, divine love, is also above law, but it has its own law. Another verse, whose meaning runs parallel to this one, is given by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. Virachaya mai dandam deenabandho dayamava gatirihana bhattakachidanamamasti nipatatu shatko tir nirbharamva Navambhas tadapi kilpayoda stuyate chatakena. There is a kind of small bird named chatak that only drinks rainwater. It never drinks any water from the earth, whether it is from a river, fountain, or lake. Its very nature is that with its mouth upward, it hankers after rainwater. Srila Rupa Goswami gives this example to show how a devotee should always be waiting in expectation of the rainwater of Krishna love and no other love. The devotee prays to the Lord, "You are the friend of the fallen, so I have some hope. You may grant your grace or severely punish me. In either case, I have no other alternative but to wholly surrender to your lotus feet." Our attitude of surrender should be just like that of the chatak bird, who always has his eyes fixed upward, praying for rainwater. Rainwater may come profusely, not only enough to fill up his small belly, but enough to drown his whole body. Thunder may come from above. A bolt from the blue may come and finish his small body and send him to the non-existent quarter. But still the nature of that bird is to pray exclusively for rainwater. He won't take water from any other place under any circumstance. Our attitude towards Krishna should be like that. Whether or not he extends his gracious hand towards us, it is our duty to surrender unto him. In this connection, one verse comes to my memory. When Shri Krishna met Srimati Radharani and the gopis in Kurukshetra, after a long separation of perhaps 100 years, he felt that he had committed a great crime by separating himself from them. Approaching near the gopis, especially Srimati Radharani, and remembering their qualities of love and surrender, he felt like the greatest criminal. So much so that he bent down to touch the lotus feet of Radharani. One poet has represented the scene in this way, and that poem has been collected by Rupa Goswami in his Padyavali. Krishna was at that time the paramount king of India. But when he came in connection with the gopis and the atmosphere of Vrindavan, he felt like a criminal. And bending down, he was just about to touch the lotus feet of Radharani, when Radharani, drawing back, remarked, "What are you doing? Why are you coming to touch my feet? This is astounding. Have you lost your mind?" You are the master of everything. No explanation can be demanded of you. You are Swami. You are my husband and master, and I am your maidservant. It may be that for some time you were engaged in some other quarter, but what's the harm in that? What is the fault in you for that? That does not matter. For that right is given to you by scripture and society. There is no crime, no sin on your part. You have done nothing wrong. I am the real criminal. The meanness is within me, is with me. The defect is wholly with me. You are not responsible for our separation. So why do you consider that you are faulty or that you have committed something wrong? The positive proof that I am the real criminal is that I sustain my life. I did not die from the pangs of your separation. I am showing my face to the world, but I am not faithful to you. I could not approach the standard of faith which I should have maintained for your love. So I am the criminal, not you. It has been written in the scriptures by the saints that the wife should be thankful and exclusively devoted to the husband. This has been ordained in the scriptures. A woman should be devoted exclusively to her husband, her Lord. So in this meeting, I should fall at your feet and beg for your pardon, for your forgiveness, that I have really no love for you. I am maintaining this body and showing my face to society. I am not a proper partner for you, so please forgive me. You are begging my forgiveness? This is just the opposite of how things should be. What is this? Please don't do this. This should be the ideal of our affection for Krishna. We, the finite, should take this attitude towards the infinite. At any time, he may only give a little attention to us, but we should be all attentive towards him. And there is no alternative. Sri Chaitanya Mahāprabhu advises that we have exclusive devotion towards Krishna. And as we are insignificant, our attitude must be of this type. If we want such a great thing, then it is not an injustice that we should be treated hatefully. Our prospect, understanding, and adjustment must be that of self-sacrifice and self-forgetfulness. Just as when someone goes to fight for his country on the battlefield, there is no room for luxury or excessive desires. I remember in this connection that when Gandhi formed his non-violence army, one of the volunteer soldiers asked, "Please get tea for us." Gandhi told him, "The water of the river may be supplied to you, but no tea." If you are ready for that, then come forward. If we want to connect ourselves with the Vrindavan Leela of Krishna, we can make no conditions. Then we shall understand the method recommended by Sriman Mahaprabhu. Humility greater than that of a blade of grass. There should be no complaint from our side. Not only in the external position of our present life, but even in the internal life. Any complaint from our side should be carefully eliminated, and we must fully accept the ways of the Lord. Krishna may accept us or reject us. We have to take that risk. Only then may we make progress. In some way or other, if we can enter the group of Krishna's servitors, we will find that everyone has such a nature. And when they meet together, they will console each other in their respective groups. In different serving relationships, there are different sections of servitors of a similar nature, and they console each other with talk of Krishna, Krishna Katha. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 9 through 12, Krishna says, Mat chitta madgat prana bodhenta parasparam kathyantascha mama nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. My devotees mix together, talk about me, and exchange thoughts that give consolation to their hearts. And they live as if this talk about me is their food. It gives them a high kind of pleasure. And they find that when they talk about me among themselves, they feel as if they are enjoying my presence. Tesham evanukampartham maham jnanajam tamah nashamya atma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. When sometimes the feeling of separation from me is very acute in my devotees, I suddenly appear before them and quench their thirst for my company. Sweetness within pain. In this last verse of his Śikṣāṣṭakam, Sri Chaitanya Mahāprabhu has given another very fine and high type of solace. And this has been confirmed by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who has written, Bahir Vishajjalahaya Bhitare Anandamaya Krishna Premara Adbhuta Charita. Don't be afraid. Outwardly you may feel a horrible pain of separation, but internally you will feel an unparalleled type of rasa. The most pleasing feeling of peace, joy, or ecstasy. Externally there may be pangs of separation, but internally there is the greatest satisfaction. In this way, we are advised by the scriptures, and our practical experience corroborates our faith in this subtle manner. The English poet Shelley has written, Our sincerest laughter with some pain is fraught. Our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thought. When we are reading an epic where there is cruel separation between the hero and the heroine, it is so sweet to us that although we shed tears, still we cannot leave the book. When we hear about the pangs of Sita Devi, how Ramchandra banished her and leaves her uncared for in the forest, although she is with child, this is very painful. We shed tears, but still we read on. There is sweetness within pain. It is possible. Separation from Krishna is like that. The special characteristic of Krishna Prem is this. Externally we feel extreme pain like lava, but internally our heart is filled with some extraordinary ecstatic joy. This is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. As much as we can catch the meaning of his instructions, we shall be prepared for that kind of life. This is the fare to go to Vrindavan. And when we are introduced to so many others like us, then our joy knows no bounds. When we meet others who have the same nature and mind as us, we get solace from them. We need not be afraid. In spite of all these things, we should think firmly that there is our home, and we should want to go back home, back to Godhead. We are not foreigners there. Here we are foreigners. Every man treats me in any way that he likes, but Vrindavan is most hopeful and full of the highest prospect. in the place, it is the place of inner satisfaction. We aspire after that. We cannot but continue aspiring for our real home. What is real joy and ecstasy? We are not acquainted with that. This is our present trouble. Yet as much as we progress in Krishna consciousness, we shall become conscious of a practical feeling of real joy and ecstasy, beauty and charm, and in this way we shall become more and more encouraged. Yamunacharya says, Yadavadhi mama cheta Krishna padaravinde Navanavarasa dhamana udyatam rantum masi tad avadhivat nari sangame samaryape bhavati mukhvikarha shust nisthivanam cha. Before I came in touch with the Krishna love of Vrindavan, worldly pleasure was of much importance to me. But now, if any mundane taste comes in my memory, my face becomes disfigured and I spit at the thought. So if we get a slight taste of that ecstasy, then at once we come to the conclusion that there can be no comparison between that and any peace or pleasure here in this mundane world. At the same time, once we are settled in that atmosphere, no pain can disturb or affect us in any way. There is another side also. Although we are advised to be prepared for painful separation, the fact is not so cruel in reality. Krishna says, Maititeshu chapyaham. I am always with my devotees. Wherever there is an exclusive devotee, Krishna is there like his shadow, always invisibly moving after him. This is the Lord's nature. Aham bhakta paradhino hai swatantra evadija sadhuvir grasta hridayo bhaktaira bhakta janapriya. The Lord tells Durvasa, I am the slave of my devotees. I have no freedom apart from their will. Because they are completely pure and devoted to me, my heart is controlled by them, and I reside always in their hearts. I am dependent not only on my devotees, but even on the servants of my devotees. Even the servants of my devotees are dear to me. Hare Krishna. Just a pause here. Any observations, anything that comes to you, Chinmay Prabhu?
Well, just in the beginning, when he's talking about like the Chatak bird and the verse, it reminds me of when he mentioned several occasions that we were all familiar with the phrase all risk, all gain. No risk, no gain. And then he said, but are you prepared for all risk, no gain? These are very hard for us to accept. We're not accustomed to this ideal of love that he's giving. This divine love is really something that's not common in this society, this type of understanding.
No, not at all. It's quite the opposite. It's organic, it's live, it's the subtlemost. And to come in connection with that is the highest kind of fortune. Because it is, like you said, what is Vrindavan? I mean, this is within all of that. Again, we are tracing union and separation. even within Vrindavan, even finer, conjugal mellow, and then Vipralamba. But like you yourself said during one of our sessions, and I remember it, is what is Vrindavan? Vrindavan is power couched or dressed in love and affection, couched in humility. Isn't that what you said?
Well, that was Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj's words that I thought were very striking.
Yeah, but you said those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we must remember that this subtlemost universal, you can say, wave, and this divine love, outwardly is like lava. So we've come at 360 now, where there is an outward and inward difference. Outwardly, it is unbearable pain. And inwardly, it is the healthiest condition of that the living entity can ever be in, or anything that exists can be in. So what other pain or what other pleasure can affect someone or those entities who are in touch with it? Look at it this way. Nothing can touch them. And here the Lord also again, he makes this, Param Guru Maharaj is pointing out that the Lord is saying, remember beginning, it says he's the complete autocrat by himself, reality by himself and for himself. And here he's saying, I am a slave. Aham bhakta paradhino. Paradhin means what? Paradhin means slave. Aswatantra vadvija. Aswatantra. So swatantrata is independence. And the opposite of independence is complete dependence. Aswatantra iva dvija. Oh great Brahman, Dvija means oh great Brahman, twice born. Durvasa, aswatantra Dvija. Sadhuhir grasta hridayo. I'm captured. Grasta hridayo. Bhaktaira bhaktayan priya. What to say of the bhakta? That his devotees and devotees are dear to me. So such is the level of intimacy, and then it reaches kind of from the Lord's perspective, he just cannot reciprocate anymore. Where he says that, yeah, you ye yatha mama prapadyante tam satathaiva bhajamyaham. So I reciprocate accordingly. As you come to me, I will reciprocate. And then more from that side, more from this side, more from that side, more from this side. But then finally, just like in chemistry, you keep adding sweet or sugar to like water and keep mixing it. There will come a time where that solution will become saturated. It cannot take or hold any more of the sugar. So then what? Because he is infinite, then there must be something more. Here, that's it. So then he says that that verse that he says that Mayi bhaktir hi bhutanam amritattaya kalpate drishtaya yada asina mat sneho bhavatinam madapana. where he says outwardly, this verse has a regular meaning, but inwardly, where he says it to the Srimati Radharani and the gopis, is that this sneh, or this love, this affection that you have for me, I am fortunate to come in touch with this. It is my fortune to come in touch with this. And there is no question of reciprocation. You please be satisfied with this. There's nothing that I can do for you beyond what you have, this natural affection that you have. There is nothing. So this level of intimacy and this level of is revealed to us, and it's all real. Our Lord is kind, and Guru Maharaj and Guru Dev, by their mercy, we have access to that. We have access to this level, which is unthinkable, which makes ordinary folks uncomfortable, by the way. Like you said, that, it's kind of uncomfortable to, wow, such level of desperation and suffering. And it's a pitiful condition from the outside. It's been, that condition's been compared to lava. It's compared to kalkut, poison, as if someone is suffering from that. Now, what is death? What are the pangs of death? Nothing compared to this. But inward is just pure ecstasy and joy that we can not imagine. It is beyond the mind, way beyond the mind. What is the ecstasy that the Brahmavadis explain compared to this? What is that? Is there any comparison in that mergence? Talk about, if you really want to merge, this is where you need to be. That is just some satisfaction that you've gotten out of trouble. Well, how about this? That this is the highest ideal. And already, the victory of this has already been established in the first verse. Param vajayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Ultimate victory. Nothing can stand in its way. Nothing of any world. It cannot be interrupted, this flow. One can try, but it has already been said. Param vajayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Okay. So the next, back to Param Guru Maharaj, is Krishna is not a sweet ball. We must be prepared for any unfavorable circumstances, but we must not be discouraged. Krishna is most affectionate. His care towards us is most acute and sincere. His affection towards us has no rival. Still, Srimad Mahaprabhu has given us a warning in this verse. You are coming to search after Krishna. Krishna is not a sweet ball from the market that you can purchase and finish so easily. We are trying to attain the highest of the high, so you must be prepared for anything. At the same time, the devotees will come to us saying, have no fear. We are all like you. Let us all walk together in a straight line. Don't be afraid. We are here. We are told that Krishna's devotees are even more sympathetic to us than Krishna himself. The solace of our life and our fortune is his devotees. And Krishna says, Mad bhaktanam chaye bhakta. One who is a servant of my servant is my real servant. Sadhu Sangha, the association of saints, is the most important and valuable thing for us. To make our advancement and progress towards the infinite, our association is our guide. It is all important. We must stick to this conclusion. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaya, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhihaya. The conclusion has been given in the scriptures that all perfection can be attained by the help of the saints. Good association is our greatest wealth in searching the supreme goal. Jai Om Vishnupad, Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣhak Śrīdhar Dev-Goswamī Maharāj ki jai. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswamī Maharāj ki jai. So this concludes the illumination and explanation by Param Guru Maharaj of the Śikṣāṣṭakam, the last verse. And then next time we will do the conclusion. There is also the conclusion, part 3 of this divine literature. And so we will do that. If you're okay, Chinmay Prabhu, we will do that next time.
Yes, very nice.
Hare Krishna. And we didn't hear from Anilji. Is he there or not? Not sure. Union and separation. Okay, let me see if I can gather the troops here. Please give me a second. I'll be right back.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hari Haraya Namah Krishnaya Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Echai Gosai Kori Charana Vandan Chahoite Vignana Shabishta Puran Echai Gosai Jar Muitara Das Tansabara Pada Renu Mora Panchagras Tandera Charana Se Bhi Bhakta Sane Bas Janame Mora Hai Abhilash Ichhai Gosai Jabe Braja Koila Bas Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Brindaban Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas, Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas, Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das. Hariharaya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति सुंदर गोविंद देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय भगवान शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर की जय। जय विश्ववरेण्य शिला एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्री चैतन्य सारस्वत मठ आचार्य वृंद की जय। श्री चैतन्य सारस्वत मठ सन्यासी वृंद की जय। भक्त वृंद की जय। जय शिला भक्ति पवन जनार्दन महाराज की जय। जय शिला भक्ति निर्मलाचार्य महाराज की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सपार्षद श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। सपार्षद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय। रूप अनुगो गुरुवर्ग की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। ऑल द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज की जय। श्रीपाद चिन्मय देव प्रभु की जय। नंद रानी दीदी की जय। अनिल जी की जय। नित्याय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।